think people like to go wide open all the time. A lot of people, for some reason, I don't understand that personally.
Why?
Because I think depth of field is a narrative and aesthetic choice. I don't think you don't use it for every shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depth of field. If I want to, there are times we need long depth of field because that's what the scene needs. So if I'm an F8, I'm making that choice because I don't want the actor to be fully out of focus because I want the audience's eye to go to him sooner. So I don't have to be this crazy rack. A crazy rack from one actor to the next is also a dramatic convention.
Yeah.
It's not just, you know what I mean? So if I'm at F8, and I want a smaller rack, it just brings the audience to that person. That person can already see them, number one, and make them out primarily. So it's a softer rack. It's not like this dramatic, like, you know what I mean? So, all things that we do and all choices that we make are for story. And if it's only aesthetic, then that's sort of, for me, that's a bit, I don't know. I don't do that.
I think the style, I don't know, maybe 8-10 years ago or so, there was definitely a push to have just everything as soft as possible back there. It's going to make it beautiful. It's going to make it more cinematic. Soft, soft, soft. I mean, I know I use it most of the time when I'm using it is because what's in the background, I really don't want to see. It's like, I don't have a great set. I don't have that much to work with, and I got to soften it.
Exactly. But sometimes that's it too. I mean, luckily we have beautiful sets.
Yes, you did.
Beautiful environments. But I do think people, because film stocks were very slow, I think, especially like if you look at some of the old New York style films when they were shooting on location, I think people were shooting wide open out of necessity. So I think our memory of seeing things that are cinematic is that they're shallow to the field, not because it was a choice, but because we had a 250D stock.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you're in somebody's house and you don't have that particular budget or that particular show didn't have lifts outside when they made, with 18Ks but coming through the window, so they were just doing what they had to do. So, but I do think that the notion that to make digital cinematic, that it has to be shallow, comes from this, slow stock time period.
Mm.
When we were doing those indie films that were, Marathon Man or like, those kind of films where they were just sort of on location. They were shallow because they had to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't a choice necessarily.
Did you ever see the show Plot Against America? I think it was HBO. It shot by Martin Algren, and we had him on the show a little while back. Are you familiar with that show? Did you see it? It was just a one season, The Plot Against America. I bring it up because that show is like basically stopped down the whole time. Like everything is in focus. And we talked a lot about that stylistic choice. And it really is, it's just such a jarring difference when everything is in focus all the time. Like you don't realize how little you see that until you see it. Yeah. And you're like, what the hell am I looking at? It was a really interesting approach. And if you have any interest in that at all, and certainly I'm sure you do, it's worth checking out a couple episodes because it's just interesting to see how we did that. The Plot Against America.
The Plot Against America. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
What was that film that came out a few years ago about the insane queen in England?
Oh.
And they used that super 8mm lens all the time, and everything was super focused and it made it look mad.
Oh my God.
And they were always low angle on the, what I'm talking about.
I do. What is the name of that?
I'm
searching. Was it Insane Queen? Insane Queen movie is what I'm searching for. All right. I'm sure somebody right now is listening and they know, and they're screaming at their whatever they're listening to on. All right.
But that was a use of that same sort of thing. And obviously, back in the, back in the days, they used that a lot. They used, depth of field. They would even use optical effects to give you, long depth of field. It's a device.